Details concerning a homicide investigation out of central Nebraska. A man is under arrest. This for the murder of his wife in the small town of Marquette, which is east of Grand Island.
The investigation began Sunday afternoon when Hamilton County Sheriff's deputies were called and found a woman named Angela Adams dead in a home. A short time later, her husband, Jeffrey, turned himself in at the sheriff's office.
Investigators say an argument escalated to violence Saturday night, with Jeffrey hitting her several times. He was arrested and booked into jail for second-degree murder.
South